All right, welcome everybody to Severe Weather Update. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible, but we have a pretty significant weather event about to happen here in the United States. A winter storm moving through the south and then up to the northeast United States. And you can see a little bit of that here on the current surface map from the National Weather Service. The low pressure system is in the south right now in the Arkansas area, but it will be moving to the south and east and then eventually up the eastern seaboard up through New England. But in its wake, it's going to bring some potentially severe weather, although that risk is very marginal, to the panhandle of Florida and the Florida Peninsula. But the more important situation is a potential for high winds and wintry weather throughout the southeast and up through the northeast. Particularly a dangerous ice situation, which you can see in the freezing rain segment of this surface map over portions of South Carolina, North Carolina, and Southern Virginia, which I will show you on the models as we proceed here. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible so I can get in as much as I can without you guys having to watch too much. Thank you for tuning in, though. This is my second video. I'm pretty new to doing this, so I'm not too great at this point, but I'm doing the best I can with the resources I have. I'm trying to use some of the free maps that I can find online. Anyway, let's look now at the satellite photo of the United States, and you can see a lot of that precipitation right now in the southern areas of Missouri and northern Arkansas. Most of that is snow at this point, but some freezing rain and regular rainfall as well. Let me erase that, and let's go to, since this is a severe weather update channel, this is the day one convective outlook from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. And as you can see, they do predict some possibility of severe weather, marginal to slight risk, albeit, in the Florida Panhandle and then eventually through the peninsula of Florida as we progress through tonight and tomorrow morning. I think is basically when this is going to happen in the peninsula of Florida, later this evening in the Florida Panhandle. So we will now look at the day two convective outlook. As you can see, it shifts to the peninsula of Florida, becomes more marginal as the storm system passes through and along the outer banks of North Carolina, mostly from wind, but there will be some associated thunderstorms with the wind as this system moves up the eastern seaboard. All right, so let's go back. We looked at the satellite. Let's look at the radar, and you can see a lot of weather on this. None of this is severe weather, although there is a special marine warning. If you look, this little yellow area here by Pensacola Bay is a special marine warning, and you can see that's listed up here on the map. But no severe thunderstorm watches or warnings at this point, no tornado watches or warnings. We will continue to monitor that as this system pushes through the Florida Panhandle this evening and then eventually through the peninsula of Florida tomorrow, early tomorrow morning. The more significant event, though, is going to be in this area, and I will show that to you later, more as a winter storm event and not as a severe thunderstorm event. But anyway, most of this is rainfall on here. I don't know if this map differentiates some of the snowfall, but if there is snow, it's up in this area. Down here is mostly rain, but there could be some freezing rain. It's definitely not a nice time to be out. This is going to be cold rain. So now let's move on to the models. Well, first let's look at some of the accumulating precipitation. This is a pretty significant amount of ice. This is the accumulated freezing rain map for the next 171 hours, but you can see most of it is accumulating in the northern portions of South Carolina, central North Carolina, and in portions of Virginia. I'm not an expert on ice storms. I'm from Florida, but if you live in this area in northern South Carolina, anywhere in North Carolina, especially inland, and in the central portions of Virginia, you should monitor your local weather authorities to find out what you need to be doing. I assume you need to be off the roads because it's going to be a dangerous travel situation starting tomorrow, or early tomorrow, and I will show that to you on the GFS forecast map. That's a significant amount of ice, though, on any map that I've seen as far as freezing rain goes. I also have the accumulating total accumulated snowfall. So we're going to have a pretty significant amount of snow all throughout this area, and that's inland. So inland portions of North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, and then into Canada. I mean, that's in this range here. So we're talking about 12 to 16 inches of snow. So it's going to be a pretty significant snow event. And on the East Coast, it's going to be mostly rain, but it's going to be a lot of wind because this low is deepening and it's moving pretty quickly. So there will be a significant amount of wind along the coast, which could cause some coastal flooding. I think I had, well, there are a significant amount of winter storms. Oops, sorry about that. All throughout this area, and I can't cover all of them, but there are winter storm warnings all in this area, and there are coastal flood watches and warnings along the northeast portions of the United States, and there's winter storm warnings in this area as well. I had it up, but I must have turned it off, so sorry about that. So now let's continue and look at the actual model guidance. This is so let's move back to the current time. This is the GFS model showing precipitation and the type of precipitation. It's called precipitation type and rate, as you can see on here. So starting now, let's progress. Later this evening, you can see the thunderstorm activity moving through the Florida Panhandle, through the Tallahassee area at about 3Z, which is about, I don't know, 11 p.m. this evening. And that becomes into Sunday. So by Sunday morning at around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, the severe or the thunderstorm activity is moving through the Florida Panhandle and getting closer to the Florida Peninsula, and also a pretty significant amount of stormy weather in Georgia. As you can see, eventually, let's see, by around 15, let's go to 15Z. I can stop it there. Oh, man, I'm having a little trouble with this. Let's 15Z right there. Look at the amount of ice and freezing rain in the North Carolina area and northern portions of South Carolina. And then we have some snow, so you're going to get some snow and freezing rain in northern portions of Alabama and Georgia. But the ice really looks like a significant weather event. And as we continue this map, it moves up by Monday at 00Z, which is around, I don't know, 8 p.m. On Sunday night. You can see the storm system moves into the northeast and it deepens to 991 millibars, and you can see the snow to the left and the rain to the right, and some freezing rain as well associated with the storm as it moves quickly through this area. That's why there are coastal flood warnings in effect along the northeast coastline, because 991, and then you see as we move forward, 985, 983, 982. This is a pretty deepening low for a winter storm moving up through this area, and then eventually 978 millibars. So if you live in this area, you should keep a very close eye on your local weather, and it's going to be a blustery, windy, wintry event to the left of where this storm, or to the west of where the low pressure system moves, and a rainy, nasty, windy coastal flooding type event along the shore lines of New Jersey, New York, and Boston, and then moving into the Maine area and into Canada. So I urge you to look at your local weather for specific warnings related to where you're located. This is just a general overview of what is about to happen, and it's a pretty significant storm system, and I'm sure other people on YouTube are excited to blog about it or put a video on, and there'll probably be some live streaming in some areas later this evening with the severe weather threat in the southeast. Anyway, hope you got some good information from this video, and thanks for watching, and I'll be back, and I'll keep an eye on the severe weather threat tonight. I don't think it's going to be that significant, and then the ice threat tomorrow are your two biggest problems from a severe weather standpoint. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.